Okay guys, welcome back. It will be time to run some co-op. Now, since this game is still in closed beta, it's a bit difficult to find a team, so I'll be playing co-op Sol. So, we have 4 maps, and I think 2 of them are available at a certain day. They basically switch. So, this is the first one, and well, let's see how I do this. I mean, it is co-op, so I expect it to be a bit more difficult to run solo. Now my character is Life Wednesday here, level 34 or 32, I actually forgot. The weapon is okay, I mean decently leveled up, and I also have decent support, so it shouldn't be a big problem. Now the main problem, as I mentioned before, will be the frame rate. Now I don't know if you guys will notice that. I don't know if the frame rate will appear slow on the video, I don't know. But when I play, the frame rate isn't the best, so that affects my aim quite a bit. And I don't know what's the issue with the frame rate, not really sure what's causing to be so low. Not really sure if it's just optimization or if my device is just potato, although flagship shouldn't be a potato. However, I don't know, perhaps it's time to change. But so far it seems playable, so we'll just keep on moving. Increase crit rate 50% for 10 seconds. That's lovely. You have these extras that you can get from time to time when you clear the co-op. Now these stages are meant to be played in a team, and the co-op in this game so far has been amazing. Well, I say amazing. I have been playing more of this solo because it's a closed beta, so it's a bit more difficult to find a team. But the co-op in this game has a lot of potential. I really enjoyed playing it. The bosses are challenging, the enemies are also quite challenging, and the objective is, I would say, it does remind me on co-op from PC games. After all, this is a crossplay game, so technically it is a PC game and a mobile game at the same time. Now we have these buffs. I would recommend, if you are solo, to go and get healing, as much healing as possible. You don't have to worry about damage. If you have good aim, then killing the enemies is not going to be a big problem. I like how the game is really dependent on your own aim, and most of the damage does come out from your aim. Of course, equipment does play a role, but aim is very important as well. So my aim is much better on PC with keyboard and mouse. I mean, I'm an old PC player, so mouse is basically like, I don't know, something that is quite familiar with me. I've been playing shooters for like 20 years or something. It's been quite a while. Ever since I've been a kid, I've been playing PC games, so no wonder. Okay, now this kind of time limit, we have I have like 11 minutes, 15 minutes to clear the co-op. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. I think it depends on the map. So you should be, you don't want to lose too much time. And I'll show you how the co-op stages look. Now here you have to defend the objective, and you have to kill the incoming targets. And I prefer to snipe them when they are far away from you. And we'll be very interested to see how a sniper character will perform, because you know all characters have different weapons. This Life is currently using a submachine gun, and high rate of fire and high spread, that's gonna help a lot when the enemies are grouped like this. You can basically hit multiple of them at the same time. With the pistol and with the shotgun, I think with the shotgun it's actually, I would say, almost the same. With the pistol you have to aim for headshots to do the most damage, and with the sniper rifles, how would a sniper rifle perform here? I have no idea, but I will be testing that out. I have a sniper rifle, and I have a character, an S class, I think, that can use the sniper rifle, so it will be fun to see how that character will perform. And yes, I'll be working on improving the characters from time to time. I want to level them up. I've been focusing a lot on the story, because I want to see how the story goes, but I don't want to neglect the gameplay part. The gameplay of the game is fantastic. Now when I say fantastic, there are some, you know, things that I would probably change. Well, not change, but improve. The game in its current state is pretty good, but it needs some, it definitely needs some improvements. Nothing too serious, you know, just some animations here and there, just the frame rate and, you know, things like that. Although I'm a little bit worried with the frame rate. Perhaps the game is already quite well optimized, and perhaps my phone is just too potato. I don't know. Snapdragon 870. This is running on a Snapdragon 870, which is a pretty fast chipset, pretty strong GPU, and I mean, I don't know if you can notice anything wrong with the frame rate on the video, but when I play, I'm used to 60 and above. I'm used to 60 frame rate and, frames per second and above. So anything below that is too slow for me. Maybe just, you know, consequence of using high refresh rate screen and high frame rate. Now I would use low settings, but the game just looks good. And speaking of the game's graphics, now the models, the character model, like the design of the character is pretty good. I like how they look, but the one thing that does feel a little bit odd. Oh no. Yeah, my fault. I got distracted. There's a, oh, I'm about to fight a Titan here. Hella, lovely. Now, the facial animations of the characters seem to be seem to need improvement. Everything else looks highly detailed, like the body of the character, the hair, I mean the animations, the physics, everything is on spot. But the face of the characters, I don't know, sometimes I feel like the graphics on the facial animations are low. So that's what I would probably want to improve. Now let's not get carried away by graphics anymore. I have to fight a bloody Titan here. The bosses do change at the end of the co-op. Now, as you can see, the boss has multiple destructive parts. You will do most damage if you shoot at the head of the boss and if you shoot at the middle. Basically aim for the obvious shiny spots. That's basically the weak spots of the Titan. But you can also focus on destroying parts of the Titan. Basically, you can focus on destroying the arm, the leg. You can also focus on destroying some certain structures on the Titan and on the boss. And I find that really interesting. The brake mechanics are fantastic. I love them. So that's also one aspect that will be very important later on when the boss battles become a bit more serious. And I think every member in the team, in the co-op team, will have to basically focus on one single part, or every member of the team will have their own part to focus on to destroy. Now I'm basically trying to kill the boss as quickly as possible, and I just went the classic route at shooting the weak spot, and I have defeated the boss somehow alone. Well, it's not that difficult. After all, it is difficult to find a team, that's for sure. But that was pretty good. That was honestly a pretty good run. Okay, let me show you some other maps, because that was one map. Let me show you the other one. Now I have seen two other maps. I don't really know if I ever got to play them, but I'm fairly sure that they will add a lot more maps down the road. Overall, the map design and the co-op idea is very fun, very good, and I would say in this aspect kind of unique. Okay, well let's go, and you can also look at my temperature. I did enable the temperature monitor on the GPU just to show you an example of this device performance. And I mean I can't really complain on the performance. It's just annoying that I don't know what is lacking. Is the game lacking optimization, or is my phone lacking horsepower? That's a big question. I think I'll just install the game on my tablet, and then from the tablet I'll just decide what's the case, because my tablet still has the performance monitor available. That's why I don't like to update operating systems, because they do mess up some things that don't have to be messed up, and then you just can't properly look at performance. But you know, I mean, I've had this phone for like 2 years now. I will probably wait for Snapdragon 8. What was it called? 8 Gen 3, 8 Gen 4, 8 Gen 3 or 8 Gen 4. One of these chipsets will find their way into my hands in the future, because 8 Gen 2 is nice, but I just don't really, you know, don't really like the heat output on that one. The performance is good. I mean, the performance on that monster is fantastic, with a monster GPU inside of that thing. But I just don't trust the manufacturing process. I want TSMC to be the process manufacturer, so that I know that my phone will not be a nuclear reactor. I mean, you know what happens with Snapdragon 888, with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. You know how that thing heats up. Yeah, that's a thermonuclear reactor right there, and I then definitely don't want to. My next one is not going to have that manufacturing process inside of them. I need a proper manufacturing process, and I need performance as well. But I don't know, I mean, I tried the lower graphics. I just really like how the game looks, so I just keep the game the way it is. I mean, let me just quickly show the... I think I will show the graphics down the road. It's playable, it is playable, but I'm not really satisfied with the frame rate. And if any of you has like Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 device, you know, something a bit more up to date, feel free to tell me how the game runs on that. I'm just very curious. If you have a top of the line Snapdragon chipset, or if you have any one of the new devices with the new chipset, I'm very interested to know how the game runs on that, just so that I know what to expect if I decide to change this device on maximum settings, basically, because I run maximum settings, and I even run like look at the reflections. There are so many details that I don't really pay much attention to, but you know, it's nice to be on the screen there. But the reflections are insane. I'm pretty sure what it. I haven't really done much in-depth like research to see what is basically killing my own frame rate. Not really sure if it's the AA or if it's actually I think the game does support ray tracing, and I think they allow you to basically use that. I have seen some enhanced like reflection or something like I don't know if that's the case, but in any case, yeah. I did play around with the settings, but I haven't really seen much improvements. Like, I haven't noticed a lot of things to really impact the frame rate. Basically, everything impacts the frame rate in one way or the other. I haven't been able to like find a proper balanced option where the game will still look good and run well. I haven't done that yet, so that's unfortunate. I mean, I could just run low settings, but the game would look too potato for my taste, and I don't like to. I like my game to look good, you know. When I record, I like the game to be good for the video and things like that. Okay, well, so far I think I'm doing pretty well. So far. 75 degrees Celsius. That's a pretty toasty GPU there. And I can feel when the chip gets a bit warmer than usual. I just feel that on my hand. I feel that burst of heat happening at all of a sudden. So it's kinda hilarious how hot this thing can get. a hot potato, as I like to call it. And somehow it's been running like that for like a couple of years and still runs really well. I mean, I say really well. When was... oh, there we go, overheating. There we go. That's the first one, but I like how it tells you overheating, but it doesn't like... it doesn't prevent you from anything, right? It still keeps running full power, which is kind of hilarious, but it just, you know, it just notifies you, oh, here, I'm overheating, but, you know, I'll just go full power still. It doesn't throttle at all. I mean, I can technically overclock the device, but yeah, that's that's not a smart idea, especially with summer. The weather here is quite warm. Definitely not a smart idea to overheat. Overclock, my apologies, overheat. Although would be hilarious. Definitely would hit 100 degrees Celsius, I can guarantee you that. Oh, it froze for a second. And it stopped for... okay, it happens. I'm actually kinda glad that the game doesn't show you the frame rate that you run into the game at, because I would probably be very disappointed when I would look at the frame rate. Although I'm not really sure how the game looks normal when I record. I mean, it looks very normal. It doesn't look like it's struggling at all on the video. But when I play the game, it's a totally different experience. Okay, I think I have enough buffs. Should be enough at least. And let's go and do the boss battle. Joseph the Bison, that's the current boss that I have to fight, and I like how the bosses do change. Now the maps seem to be... the two maps that I have played seem to be the same. However, the boss does seem to change. And every boss has like its own traits. And if you play the story, you definitely will be familiar with the bosses. You know, it will be interesting when I stumble upon more of the Titans, because the Titans are also bosses, and I believe they're also going to be present in the co-op at one point. That's what I'm saying. The game has a lot of potential, and so far this beta test has been very, I would say, very interesting, and it's been very fun. One of the few games of its kind on the mobile platform that is this fun and I would say this unique. Look, did you see that? The way how the boss started dodging left and right? That was sneaky. But the boss has been killed. That was a very good run. Well, it was a solo run because finding a teammate in a close beta test is a bit difficult, but you know, was definitely quite challenging and definitely was fun. Alright, well, that was it for the co-op. Today was again extremely fun to play this. If you guys would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.